Over the past week, I have spent additional currency, probably put about another 100 to 150 divines into my Poison Lightning Strike Guardian. I absolutely love this build. I just wanted to show you guys where you could absolutely take it if you wanted to put even more money into it. It can just tackle anything that I want to throw it at. It feels incredible. It's very zoomy, and I love this build. And I just want to share with you guys what you can do if you love a build and you put some money into it, and especially a very strong build like this. So yeah, let's go straight into a showcase, show you guys what it can do right now, and then I'll talk about all of the items and all the changes that I made. So the cool thing about this build is, do I have anything? No, I'm gonna have to buy some. We'll just talk as I go through the trade website right here. The thing to note about this build for single target damage, it is poison. There is a ramp there, and it does for Uber bossing specifically, which is what we're going to show right now. We're going to do Exarch, I guess. The problem here is there is a ramp time. So as soon as the boss gets into the situation where it's trying to, it's teleporting around, it's dropping stacks, we don't get our full uptime of our full theoretical damage. Like, that's the downside of ramping damage. However, when we do ramp that full damage, it's really cool. It's awesome when it really pops off. I think Exarch is one of the better demonstrations of this here, because he will get into these really long animations, which gives us time. It takes us about 5.5 seconds to ramp our full damage. We get a lot of time with Exarch because he takes his time ramping up. But because the defense is so good on this build, as long as I don't run through too many things and just eat way too many dots, we pretty much can't die against him, which is pretty great. In terms of like mapping and doing 100% Delirious and all that, besides a Mirror Tier Tornado Shot, this is really the strongest that I felt in, in pretty much any build I've ever played. All right, before Uber Exarch, let's just double check that we got it. Yep, turned on. And we rolled this, 52%. Uber Exarch, always put on your Ruby Flask, and let's go. Because he does so much fizz, I really want to wear my Dawnbreaker, but I do have a really good Leper's Alms as well that I'll show you guys. So we got to cast our dudes, cast our buffs, just living that melee life. And you'll see it takes some time to ramp. It takes about 5.5 seconds or so to ramp our real damage. And we just want to not face tank it too much. Hopefully we can just kill him right here. Yep, there we go. So not bad for Uber Exarch, right? It took about, 5 to 6 seconds before we really ramped up. I had to make sure I actually didn't even press all of my buffs properly there. I was trying to talk during it. But, we can one phase him, and very, very comfortably. It's incredibly tanky. So there's our demonstration of an Uber boss. Now I'll show a little bit of a 100% Delirious map as well, because I think that is also a very, very good demonstration of this build. For reference, what I was saying earlier is for real min-maxing, you can go for something like this. If you really just want your full single target, this adds about 1 second to the amount of ramp that we get, 40% increased duration of ailments, which includes our poison, and double corrupted with Fizz taken as, we still get 13% Fizz taken as, so it's still decently defensive. You're only getting more damage with the Leper's Alm if you're going to be attacking that monster for an additional second. This is basically your best in slot for doing your Uber bosses, as assuming they don't phase and drop those poison stacks. But I really like, particularly against Uber bosses that have big fizz damage, which is almost all of them. I think that Dawnbreaker is your best in slot. If I was doing like Uber Maven, I'd probably wear my Leper's Alms. Let's roll up a pretty big map here. I've been avoiding, after doing the challenges, I did my 40 out of 40 a few days ago. After doing all those deli maps, there's one of these challenges here that is absolutely awful. This one right here, 100% deli. Yeah, they all have to be Guardian maps, 4 Sextants, 4 Gilded Scarabs, and all that. Maven Witnessed. I've been avoiding running deli maps entirely because it's just an absolute nightmare. Sure. We'll just do something like this. 100% deli. Sure, we'll toss Beyond on there as well. So as I was saying, the issue here, right, is damage ramping. Now, so this isn't gonna look like Tornado Shot running through a deli map, but the cool thing is, because we are so defensive and so tanky, right, there's some ramp here, doing 100% delicosis. It takes a little bit of time, but you can kind of just smoothly go through the map, and you're not really worrying about ever dying. And you're consistently doing enough damage that you can kind of get through this, as long as you're willing to attack the monsters for about 2 seconds per. And then you're going to kill them pretty consistently. And I think this is, a kind of similar play style to something like Spark, where you're going to be, going to a new position, getting all your projectiles out, and then just kind of like ramping up. And then when you get an Echo Shrine like this, it basically quadruples our damage, and then it just gets kind of silly. So I'll turn the Shrine off in a second, but it's really, really fun. I think the right way to do big maps like this is run a Shrine like this. Oh, my game sounds are still off. I don't want to re-record all that. Let me turn on the game sounds. I noticed that in the video yesterday, there weren't any game sounds. Let's turn that up a little bit so you can hear the beautiful audio of me attacking 100 times a second. So the real big thing, right, is when you can press Vol Lightning Strike, and it floods the entire screen. Everything dies, except for these procs bubbles. These are the worst. And because we have so much life gain on hit, because we have so much just overall flat defensive layers, besides clicking very, very scary altars and shrines, or just altars, or running mods that we can't run, which we can run Ellie Reflect, we can run Can't Regen. That's probably the worst mod. What's the other ones? Oh, Avoid Poison. That's obviously the worst one. We can run, we can run pretty much everything we want. All right, I'm just gonna run straight to the end right here. Oh, we can kill this Omni. So, as long as I'm able to attack, even if the game is frozen, you'll see that my life basically shouldn't go down. Because we have so much life gain on hit, it'll go down for just like a fraction of a second. Pretty much not gonna die. And yeah, here's the rolls on the map. Nothing absolutely crazy, but we got Beyond, 100% Deli. We're Ailment Immune, all that really good stuff. And here. Hopefully, all things considered, I should be able to just face tank him totally fine. Get rid of these procs bubbles first. I mean, he's already dead. So there we go. Yep, that's a 100% Delirious map. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's very, very easy. You just hold your right click, your main attack, and then you just walk through the map. Not really having to press other buttons. It's really, really comfortable and fun. Now to the actual main chunk of the video. Just wanted to demonstrate what's going on there and what the build's capabilities are really quick. What we'll do is we'll just go piece by piece in terms of the changes. And actually, I'm going to start off with what I think is the biggest one. And this was actually an idea that I saw from someone in Discord. Fair number of you guys playing this build in Discord right here. And I noticed someone was asking for crafting advice on a ring. And I saw that their ring had an onslaught base. And I should have thought of this earlier. Now, this is more expensive. The previous ring that I had was, it was just life with a couple damage, synth implicits. Very, very solid ring. This is just better. The main thing is we were previously using a tattoo that gave us onslaught right here. But if you get onslaught on a ring, I bought the synth base for 35 divines. It's not cheap to get onslaught on hit. But the big thing here is it gives us the ability to use Fortify on hit. And if you notice, I had Fortify during those encounters. Fortify, it stacks up to 20 times. That is 20% just flat damage mitigation, period, across the board. It's insane for, taking the build to the next level defensively. That's the really big thing that you'll want to do. And then crafting the rings exactly the same. Essence of Delirium until you have good suffixes. Suffixes can't be changed. I did Veiled Chaos Orb because I'm lazy, just going for flat damage or life. And, craft Wed, all that type of stuff. I think if you have 30 to 50 divines to throw at the build, this is a really huge upgrade. Just 20% tankier across the board. I think it's a really good option. And it's actually better to be on a bone ring. If I wanted to min-max this even more, is I could go for minion damage on the prefix as well as elemental damage with attack skills, because that's like 43, 46% increased damage as well for a prefix. So that would be the perfect min-max to do that. Bone ring's actually ideal for us because remember, we're using Spiritual Aid right here, which gives us damage for minion damage. Next up is the ring. I noticed a lot of people called out the fact that I was recommending using an Awakener's Orb to combine a Hunter and an Elder Ring to combine those two modifiers, the life gain on hit as well as the despair on hit. That is the recommendation in the build guide because it's It's more beginner friendly. If something isn't just like the generic guide meant for general population, which is not this video. This video is for seeing where you can take a build. That's really the easiest way to do it. Very, very cheap craft. It's going to cost you like 100 chaos. Anyone can put that together really easily. It's not going to be min-maxed at all because you're just, woking together a prefix and a suffix is always, you're going to end up with garbage 99% of the time. However, the right way to craft it, if you want to go big boy, is just a hunter ring. A hunter ring can actually get that same prefix as an elder ring, but the problem is it's hard to get both of them at the same time. Now, there's two ways to craft this. There's there's three ways to craft this. I did it the dumb way. I did it the expensive dumb way. I have more money than I know what to do with. So, to save time, right? Time is money. If you have too much money, I don't value my money very much. Once I have a certain threshold, I just threw this into Reforge Caster until I hit Despair on hit with like this T1 res. Suffixes can't be changed, Veiled Chaos Orb until I got a suffix. That took like 3 tries, so that was, another 6 divines. Unveiled Fire and Chaos Res. I would have preferred Endurance Charges. I did lose those in this new ring, but Fire and Chaos Res is fine. And then Suffixes can't be changed, Reforge Life until I got Life Gain on hit. And then I also hit that T3 max life, and that's what I ended up with. That is not the right way to craft it. The right way to craft it is to use fossils. And the easiest combination of fossils to hit that with would be something along the lines of Pristine, Etheric, Corroded, and Bound. This will give you more curse modifiers, blocks all of the elemental modifiers, which helps a lot. Etheric, more caster modifiers, fewer attack modifiers, as well as more life modifiers and no defense modifiers. So this is going to be your go-to. It's going to be kind of expensive to do this. This is going to be the easiest way to end up with it. If you want to just do a triple resonator, which is significantly cheaper, right? 53 per for this, but 9 per for a triple, then I would drop the Pristine. That way you're going to end up with the suffixes much more easily. And you can just do that triple roll until you get good suffixes, and then hopefully you get the life. And if you really want to, suffixes can't be changed, Reforged Life to finish that prefix later. And then if you want to go really big, I don't have this on my ring right now. I am considering it if I want to go full min-max, is you want that Essence of Delirium. Actually, did I use all of mine? I did. I spent a lot of money trying to hit it. You want to get that 15% damage over time multiplier suffix from an Essence of Delirium. You can do that with a Glyphic Fossil. So instead of Pristine, use a Glyphic Fossil. Those are currently 0.6 divines per, so it's a very, very expensive craft. But if you hit that, then you're very, very happy because that 15% dot multi is insane for this build. You'll notice I'm at 23.2 million Uber DPS, and if I get plus 15% to damage over time multiplier, this brings me up to 25 million Uber DPS. I get 1.8 million Uber DPS, right? And if you remember, 1.8 divided by 0.3, that is actually 6 million DPS that we're getting from that one modifier. So that's the ideal to really, really min-max the build. I guess I'll sell one of these. I think I need some chaos. All right, we'll sell one of these divines. Been getting spammed the whole recording process here. Now, again, this ring is not necessary. This is just, getting that last 5%. I do think the Onslaught, if you have 30 to 50 divines to throw at the build, I think this is a great upgrade for the build. Next up would be the weapon. So what this is Fractured Essence of Zeal on a Heist Poison Dagger. I actually hit it on my second try, which was great. What you want to do is use Essence of Zeal, and I think I got the failure still sitting somewhere. Where is it? Here's the failure. This was the other try. So what you want to do is use an Essence of Zeal, which is how you get T0 attack speed right here. You can get, usually T1 only goes to, I think, 27%, and Essence of Zeal goes to 30% attack speed. So that's how you get that T0 Essence attack speed, and you do that until you have 4 modifiers perfectly rolled. Not that hard to hit, and then you use a Fracturing Orb to get that 1 out of 4 chance to get that attack speed. And then I did the same previous craft of using Essence of Hatred or Anger to get T1, Cold, and Fire damage, and then multi-mod. To take this to the extreme next level, you could go for a random YOLO Annul on the multi-mod, try to slam poison damage, something like that. But that's absolutely out of band for anything that's necessary whatsoever. That's really, really min-maxing. This is not really hard to recraft, and in fact, Essence of Anger, because we wouldn't mind flat lightning damage since we already have the cold damage on the crown. We want all 3 for the sadism on the cluster jewel. That's not that bad. So if I really want to min-max this, maybe I'll go for the annul on the multi-mod and do all that. But that's really not, that's taking it to the next level. Oh yeah, my Dawnbreaker. So double Corrupted Dawnbreaker, ideally double Fizz Taken As well as Spell Block is pretty darn nice. So I'm very happy with that. belt, I did improve it a little bit since the video. Basically just recrafted this on a hunter base. I got that chaos damage, I got the max life, and then I have the withered -6 res enchant, which is the best in slot enchant. I think I had that in the video. So not a crazy belt. And that might be it for the min-maxing. Those are all the big items. Now, there's definitely stuff we can do. Let's see. Do I have a little belt sitting here in my stash? I do. So I could toss on a Mage Blood. As always, you can just put a Mage Blood on a build. You know, max your res, max attack speed, movement speed, all that type of stuff. You could absolutely do that. But I really view, like, if you're just playing for the sake of playing for yourself, I do recommend a Mage Blood. Just do it. After all I've invested, the Mage Blood alone is still worth more than I've invested total into this build. That's kind of taking it to a level that I think is not... It's not interesting. Like, it's no longer interesting for most players, even in the min-max situation, in terms of like sharing what a build is and what's interesting about a build. A Mage Blood really is it's just cheating, right? And it's no longer interesting for what you're putting into the build. That doesn't really calculate for me for something I want to share in a build guide. And then the very last thing, Awaken Multi-Strike. I think this was like 5% more damage for 40 Divines. This was most of what I invested, I guess, in terms of adding 150 Divines into the value of the build. It's like 5% more damage versus the Divergent Multi-Strike. It is such a luxury good that is not worth investing into. I don't recommend it unless you're just sitting on 40 Divines. But that's it for the min-max version of my Poison Lightning Strike Guardian. If you're on the fence about the build, if you were curious about the capabilities at the high end, you know, hopefully I've proven enough that it can do pretty much anything that you want it to do besides, you know, deep delving, something like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. POB, as always, will be in the Discord, in the Video POBs channel. I have an idea for the next build. Of course, this league, we have to check out all of the new ascendancies, and we have a pretty cool idea that I think, you know, really leverages a lot of the tech that people have come up with this league and putting it on a Chieftain, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. Goodbye.